Hey everybody, it's Kia. So today I figured we would go ahead and do our June 12th through June 15th budget. I know I'm a little late on this, and part of that is because I've just been trying to figure out how to get it down on paper, because when I track it in the computer, I have little templates that tell me what bills I'm paying for each payday, but as I update my register on the computer, I go through and I delete those amounts, so it's constantly changing. And I was having a really hard time trying to figure out how I was going to close the month of May, as well as how I was going to close last budget that I did and kind of lead into this budget. So I am going to change a few things around. One of the things that I'm going to do is actually combine mine and my husband's paychecks together, because I got paid on Friday and then he got paid on Monday, and they're just too close together to be able to separate out the groceries and the shopping and all those kind of things. So I will go ahead and this payday go ahead and write it all in on one sheet, and then I think I'm just going to use different colors of pens. So I entered in my roll forward. That's the amount that I've calculated that we've rolled forward for future bills, savings, things like that. And then I'll do my stuff in pink and his stuff in green. So that way I can keep track of which ones I was planning on coming out of which paychecks, so that I can keep everything square. Because I do pay for certain things out of certain paychecks. Or at least that's how I prefer to track it. So let's go ahead and dive in and see how this one works. So I'll go ahead and put the purple away. I was using that one for the roll forward. And then we'll start with mine first, because my paycheck was first on my bill pay list. And, actually up here, I'm going to do 6/12 through 6/15. Those are the two pay periods I'm covering. And so let's go ahead and write all this in. So I'm going to do paycheck. And I am on salary, so I'm just going to do $18.50. I prefer to do it in fives when I budget, just because it's easier to add everything up. And then I'll put my husband's in here. And his income changes quite a bit based off of how many hours he works. And then he also gets paid bi-monthly. So that makes it a little difficult for me to figure out which days are on, which days are being paid on that pay period. So, all right. So every 2 weeks, I budget for $100 for auto fuel out of my paycheck. So I'm going to go ahead and put that one in. And then this pay period, I've really only budgeted for groceries out of mine. I didn't budget for anything out of his. So that should make it a little easier. And we are going to have $340. And then I also budget for medical out of mine. That's $65. Pets. This one's a little difficult because I had our dog food and stuff on auto ship through Sam's Club, but they ended up not allowing us to do that anymore. So we weren't able to get our shipment, and then they also started charging for shipping on the dog food, which is really, really expensive for those big things of dog food. So I have been looking at Chewy.com, and I placed our first order last month, really enjoyed it. But this time I needed to buy a little more to be able to get the free shipping, and their bags are slightly smaller than the ones that I was getting from Sam's Club. So I went ahead and I got 3 bags of dog food. So I'm gonna go ahead and just budget $80 for that, and then see how the total kind of shakes out at the end. So I guess we'll find out. Okay, so we have those in there. Now, let me find which bills I'm paying for my husband out of his paycheck. So he is going to pay for the auto insurance, and I budget $195 for that. We also have entertainment. That's going to be our Netflix and our Spotify. And that comes out to be about $35 a month. And then he pays for my life insurance policy out of his. And that number is a little high, but it gives me just a little wiggle room in case something else is low. And then he's going to go ahead and cover the phone bill, which is also a little high, but there again, I'd rather it be a little high than too low. And then I'm also going to budget for part of our utilities. So I'm going to do $100. That's going to go towards our gas bill or our electric bill. Just kind of depends on what needs to be covered. And then we are going to have, and I'll go ahead and do it in purple because it's not really coming out of a specific account, but we will have some shopping, just miscellaneous shopping that we're going to be doing. And then we're also going to be having our homeschool. We're working on our homeschool expenses at the moment. So homeschool, I'm going to budget for $500. That's part of the amount up here in the roll forward that we have. And then I'm also going to budget $180 towards just general shopping because we need to get the boat registered. We need to buy a new boat cover, things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and budget for that. The other thing that we'll do is we'll go ahead and fill out the, I guess our sinking funds. So I will go ahead and just add the two together. Right now, just until we figure out our shopping, homeschool, and see kind of how the rest of the month works, I am saving our debt snowball. So I'm going to just call it debt savings, and I am going to budget $495 this pay period. And then we are also going to have some money go for homeschool. And we'll go ahead and put that in. Everything else is going to be debt related. And so what I do is I try to fill in the bills based off of what pay period they're going to be coming out of now, which is partly why we have such a big roll forward. But then I also kind of plan ahead for some of the other bills, and I pull them out of current paychecks. So I will also have a bill savings as well. That way later when they do actually come due, I can go ahead and write them into the budget and put in the proper amount without having to wait 2 or 3 budgets later for the dollar amount to clear. So we'll see how that works. But we do have Sam's Club. It's going to be due on the 17th, and I budget $70 for it. I'm also going to have a couple of the Capital Ones. So I have my husband's GMC account. It's due on the 18th. and I budget $35 for it. We also have his Visa card, and it is also due on the 18th, and I budget $25 for it. And then we're going to have the Chase card, and it is due on the 19th. And I budget $60 for it. We're going to have Bank of America do this pay period, and it's going to be $25, and it is due on the 20th. We are also going to have one of my Capital Ones, my MasterCard, and it's due on the 22nd, and it's for another $25. And then we've got that new Affirm one for my daughter, and it is due on the 26th, and that's going to be $50. Okay, so that should cover that. And then I'm not going to put anything in here for savings this pay period. I'm not worrying about the extra. I'll kind of fill that in after we get through the month. And then for my husband's bills, I'm just going to put bill savings. And we're going to hold back $220 for some of the credit cards that won't hit until the 1st of July. So I think that's all of it. So let's go ahead and add it up, and then I'll decide on how much is going to be carried forward as a roll forward for next month or next pay period. So let me find my calculator. Okay. So income is $1,850 plus $1,300 plus, oops, did I get that right? $1,850, $1,300 plus $1,840. Oh, sorry if you can hear the cat. She's being funny today. So we've got $49.90 as our budget there. And then let's go ahead and add these up. Okay, so that is going to be $27.75, and then I'll add up debt next, and then whatever we need to fill in as a roll forward down here, we will, because I haven't finished figuring out what we're going to be doing with the money that we had after I went through and I reset our budget, and I changed when all the bills are hitting. So I'm trying to be diligent on keeping savings and everything, but I just cannot seem to get that off of my spreadsheet. So that should be $290. There we go. All right. So income was $49.90 minus $27.75 minus $290. So I'm at $19.25 so far. And then I'm going to subtract out the $495 for our debt savings. And then I'm going to subtract out $50 for our homeschool sinking fund and $220 for the bills later. So that leaves a remaining roll forward of $1160. So I'll put that in there. Okay, so 1925. So I'll just check the math one more time. So 49.90 minus 27.75 minus 19.25 equals 290. Perfect. So everything should wash out right there. So I'm pretty happy with that. So we'll see how it all turns out. I'm super excited to see if this works for me, because part of the issue that I was having is that last payday I was writing bills in, but they're really going to hit this payday. And when I fill out the expense log, when are they going to actually clear, and just trying to keep track of which pay period I have it in, because like I said, I do track it on the computer, but as soon as it clears, I delete it off of my little template, so that just recalculates the whole balance. But I think this is going to work out pretty well, and I'm excited to, like I said, finish planning and everything. I will be doing my 2-week budget follow-up for last pay period. But I think I'm going to go through and fill everything out on one sheet like I did here on the last one. And then the other problem that I was having is that I included that May 29th pay period in for the month of May, I guess, as far as my paper budget goes. But really it was for bills in the month of June. So that was throwing me off, and that was just something new I was trying. I usually budget for that last pay period of the month to go towards the next month. And it threw me all out of whack. So I think I'm just going to start including that one in the fall, that next month, like I have always done, and see if maybe I can keep up with that way. I've just had too many changes. I can't keep up, but I'm super excited. Thank you guys for checking this video out. If you like them, please subscribe. I'd really love to continue on with our little budget debt-free journey here on YouTube with you guys. And if you guys have any suggestions on how to retrain your mind on a new budget process, I would love to hear about them. So I hope you guys are doing wonderful, and we will talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.